Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening. That quote was by Rick Rubin. And when I heard it for the first time, everything within me was yelling, hell yes. That is exactly what it is. I love talking to God, spirit source, my universe, my angels, my guides, my ascended masters, the angels, the fairies, all of the energetics that are constantly surrounding us. And yet I love going in the stillness, the quietness, the nothingness, the unseen, the blackness. I find so much peace in the silence. Welcome to Collective Guidance. I'm your host, Charla Goodnight, and I am so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonate with what I am going to be talking about in this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe, as that allows it to find more people. So today we're going to talk about prayer and meditation. I find so much peace in the silence. I am not saying that when I meditate, my mind is always silent, but whenever I meditate, it definitely isn't always quiet, but I love the overcoming of myself, the pushing myself to stillness. And maybe it's not even the pushing, but the allowing of stillness, full energy coming into my body and the calming of my nervous system. The holding space for stillness allows me to access compassion. Through meditation, I get to give compassion to myself when my mind is all over the place. And when that happens, I am allowed to give compassion very easily to other people. In the quietness, I get to fully feel my heart and my essence. I feel this groundedness whenever I come out of meditation. To prep myself before I go into meditation, I do about 8 minutes of breath work. And when I do this breath work, it just gives my mind what it needs. It gives it the chemicals it needs through breath work to make it just silence a little bit more in the meditation. When I come out of meditation, I feel groundedness. I feel remembrance of who I am. The presence that it gives me in the other aspects of my life is amazing. It allows me to fully hear the birds and the sounds that surround me constantly. I bring this up because recently I found myself in contrast with someone else. Contrast, yes, means an argument, but I like to call it contrast, a differencing in energy and frequency with another person. Because when we get in an argument with someone, when we get in a battle, I don't know, that word's coming up. What it does to our nervous system is makes it feel unsafe. And I recently had that. I was in a 2-year relationship that the person and I got into an argument, and the argument became too much for me to take. And I had to walk away from the argument. After the argument, all day, I just prayed for resolution, for serenity, for it to resolve. And it resolved within 24 hours. The argument resolved. And I give all of that to my angels and my guides and my support system that is constantly surrounding me. And it is constantly surrounding you. During that day of feeling that conflict, I prayed, I meditated to calm my nervous system. Contrast is part of the human experience. Contrast is going to happen when the frequency is vibrating differently between two people. And while the human aspect of us wants to go into blame and victim, when we pray and when we meditate, the soul is able to say, no, that is not really what is happening. It is a difference in frequency. When we are in relationship, we come together because we're vibrating at the same frequency. We are vibrating at a frequency that both feel comfortable with. When arguments come up, we're not at the same frequency. And the goal is to get back in the same frequency, but that's not always going to happen. Sometimes you're so far off from each other's frequency that the relationship has to come to a close. When relationships come to a close, it can be extremely difficult because you are grieving a loss of relationship. The loss of the relationship, though, is more about the loss of what was supposed to be, the loss of the hope, the loss of the fantasy of the future, the loss of what you had. But what I am learning is, in every way, is that it's not a loss, actually. It is a change of frequency. And when a relationship comes to an end, it's because your frequencies were not able to hold each other anymore. They were not able to continue to co-create the life that you fantasized that you were going to have. And so if you are grieving a relationship, if you are grieving the loss of anything in your life, I want you to know, number one, that you're not alone. You're not alone. You are always supported by spirit, by your universe, by God. And there's other people that are experiencing the same thing. So you're not alone. It's time to shift your thinking, shift your perception of the circumstance. Realize that frequencies change. And when you cannot get back to the same frequency and back to the same vibration, the relationship has to dissolve. I just wanted to drop in share that with you. Today is a short episode. The next two after this will be short episodes as well. There is massive magic in prayer. There is massive magic in stillness. And if you do not have a meditation practice, look, I totally understand. If you would like to explore meditation, I highly recommend that you just start with 1 minute where you set a timer and you breathe and you do box breathing. Box breathing is an inhale for 4, hold for 6, exhale for 6. So, wanted to share. I hope this resonated. I know it's a short episode. I am so grateful for you guys being here. Talk to your angels. Get still and quiet and let your soul talk to you and give you remembrance. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up, for being open to this download that I am sharing of my experience of what I'm going through. And I am beyond grateful for you. Thank you so much.